Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001, and I'm coming at you with a review that is thanks to Sparkle Wolf, who was able to send me one of the Fang the Hunter figures that she found. Now this Fang is one of the ones that you get at the Walmart checkout lanes that come in closed box packaging. But she was thoughtful enough to provide a picture of the carded version so that I can read the character description to you. Fang is a springy bounty hunting jerboa that's continuously looking for the next big score. I like how they specifically point out that he's a jerboa on his character card, because as we all know, there's been a bit of controversy about this character's identity since he was originally introduced to us in Sonic Triple Trouble under the name Knack the Weasel. And that name stuck for his run in the Archie comic as well, where he was always known as Knack the Weasel, and I believe he even had a sister, Nick the Weasel. Together they were kind of the Knick-Knack twins. Haha, get it? Pun. Now, Knack would appear in other classic era games. I think he was in Sonic Drift, but nobody cares about that. And he was also playable in Sonic the Fighters, where he was given the name Fang the Sniper. This is also where we got the only playable appearance of Bean and Bark, who he is associated with as Team Hooligan in the modern IDW comic, and also back in the Archie comic days. He also had a cameo in Sonic Mania when I believe Heavy Magician could shapeshift into him with their illusion power, but he wouldn't properly be in another game again until Sonic Superstars, where he's basically one of the big boss characters, kind of reprising his role from Triple Trouble of being the other bad guy alongside Dr. Eggman. But, that being said, I'm not doing a biopic on the character himself, I'm talking about an actual toy here, so let's get a look. Fang the Hunter here, not the Sniper and not Knack the Weasel, is brought to us in glorious Jack-specific sculpting. I like how the openings for his ears are back here, like they're just tube-shaped ears and they're folded back. He's very well detailed in his sculpt. He has the little bolts on the back of his gloves. He has his knee-length shoes. Look, the belt even comes off his body a little bit. That's a great attention to detail. The only weakness I would give to his sculpt has to do with his iconic fang, because like you can see how his mouth is outlined, but the fang that comes out of it is just... it's barely visible. When the light catches it, you can see the shadow it casts, but other than that, it's nearly invisible. Like, you can, from the front, you can barely even tell that it's there. I should have traced around that with a little bit of a highlighter, like maybe just outline it with a line like they did for the mouth. That would have been fine. You know, like, the fang is kind of one of the most iconic parts of his character design, so, you know, why not go into it? The articulation is pretty basic. It's a 2.5-inch figure. So you got a swivel cut in the head, universally jointed shoulders, and universally jointed hips. There's no other points of articulation. The tail does not move. No waist, no knees, no wrists, nothing like that. So yeah, articulation is very basic, but the fact that this is really, literally speaking, the first toy officially of Fang the Hunter that we've ever got. Which seems really overdue. Like the idea of having a Fang toy. Like, okay, I gotta bring it up. The Dreamcast connection. In the game Shenmue, there's like one of those little gumball machine gachapon games where you can get little collectible Sonic figures, and one of them is of Fang. I don't know if they called him... back then, they probably either called him Fang the Sniper or Knack the Weasel, I'm not sure. But, because I never actually played Shenmue, I only seen the screen caps. But this figure looks almost identical to that figure. Like, it has almost the exact same sculpt, and it's even about the same size in my hand that it is in the main character's hand. Like... it's pretty darn close. The only difference I'd say is that his tail is really folded up on his back. I like that they made it super long, but they made it like flat against him. I'm guessing so that he could fit in the standard blister card packaging without being like, you know, super big. I really want to get a 4-inch version of this figure to put with the rest of my classic figures because, like, you know, like, he's one of the classic non-Robotnik bad guys. Like, he has his place in history, and I'm really happy that they finally made a toy of him. We could probably thank Superstars for this because if it hadn't been for Superstars, I'm pretty sure there's be a lot of kids that don't even know who this character is. So one thing here we can see Fang is one of those characters that I've made customs of quite a lot. I have made him both in the taller, more modern look that he featured in the Archie comic and the more stumpy version so that he'd be more like a classic character. On my figures, the tail comes out way more on his back because, you know, I didn't have to worry about him fitting on a store shelf. But also, like, this technically is a classic character, but he does appear a bit lanky for a classic character. His arms are significantly longer than Tails' arms, but I guess that's because Tails is proportioned like a kid and this guy's proportioned like an adult. Yeah, I also love how the character description was very specific to let us know that he's a jerboa and not a weasel. I wonder why that happened. Like, did they just not want? Did they figure jerboa was too obscure and complicated a thing? Like too many kids would ask their parents, "Mommy, what's a jerboa?" And the mother would be like, "I have no idea." Because there wasn't Google back then. You couldn't just look it up. Like, oh, it's some funny kangaroo rat looking thing from Australia. Mommy, what's in Australia? I'm kidding. But yes, yeah, great looking figure. I kind of wish that his hand, like, I guess that's a holding thing hand. I kind of wish his fingers were a little bit tighter so I could find an action figure gun and stick it in there. I don't have any action figure guns on hand right now. I'm not really a big action figure gun guy. Yeah, hold on. Maybe. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, his hand can totally hold a 5mm peg gun, which basically comes with any Transformer. So if you have some extra Transformers guns lying around, then you can arm up your little Fang figure and have him ready to, you know, hunt. Or snipe, because this thing, like, the way he can hold it right up to his eye like that really makes it look like he's holding a sniper rifle now. I mean, like, it's funny. The only time we've ever seen he holds a handgun, yet his name is the Sniper. Well, I guess that's why they changed it to the Hunter, because they figured, it's kind of weird that this guy is associated with he's only ever been shown to have handguns, and yet he's named after a rifle. Although, like, don't hunters mostly use rifles? I don't really know of many hunters that use handguns. I guess there are some handheld rifles. I'm not a gun expert. Hey, am I going to get demonetized because of this? I don't know. So let's end that little thread. If you can find these guys, I haven't seen them in Target yet, but they're apparently popping up in Walmart. Don't forget to check around the registers where apparently they have the box version of the figure. And, oh yeah, I guess I should mention something that Sparkle said about it. There appears to be a running change. If you look at Fang's eyes here, they're kind of high up in the face. Sparkle said that Fang's eyes can either be like this or they can be a little bit lower where the pupils come a little closer to the bottom of the eye, and she preferred the one where they were lower. But the fact that these eyes are perfectly printed in place and don't seem off center suggests that that both ways are correct. So there might have been a running change during manufacturing, the same way that Ray the Flying Squirrel's 4-inch figure also had different eyes. Like the version that came with the Advent calendar had different eyes from the version that was single carded. Just throwing it out there. So if you get the box figure, you don't really know which one you're getting, but that is something that you can inspect for when he's on the blister box. So thank you all for watching this video, and this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.